Hey, guys. All right, Melanie said hi in the chat if everybody saw that. So say hi back and tell me that you're here. And we will get rocking and rolling here. All right. Does anybody know what today is? It's a National Awareness Day for something. What do you think it is? Any idea?
Vote, get registered.
Yeah, Register to Vote Day, National Register to Vote Day. So we're not the only ones that are concerned about voting, and but today is a focus day. We've got a really good new website up on the school website on voting, with lots of good resources and things to pay attention to. And on Thursday we'll work on our voting project, but at least make sure you're registered, and then we can all become aware of what to vote for when it comes up. And there we go. And with all the changes that have happened, even this past week since we were together, absolutely amazing. Supreme Court and all the vote by mail controversy, crazy. All right, let me know you're here. And there you go, Elijah. Nice. See, under promise and over deliver. So Elijah put, yeah, there you go. And Melanie's here with her thumb up. Good for you. All right, yeah, we have a guest today, and I'll introduce my good friend Melanie here shortly.
Quick question, sorry.
Yeah, sure. This is the time right now. Go ahead.
I have a question towards my grade. I don't know if I should talk to you after class or right now.
Well, it's not a grade, it's points, but go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, grades are given at the end.
For the points for the first guest speaker, I didn't know you had a paper outline, because until the second speaker, I saw that you had like a file to click on to answer the questions.
I gave you some choices. I had a template that I posted, but I also posted some questions that you might want to answer as well. So if you use some combination of that, as long as it's in on time and you gave it some good thought, that's all I'm looking for.
On the first guest speaker, I didn't know we had to do that, so I just wrote like a short paragraph.
Yeah.
And I got a low score on it. So I was wondering if I could fix it and use the template how you had it for the
Why would you have gotten a low score? Did you turn it in on time?
Yes.
Well, there shouldn't have been any problem getting a good score unless there was a problem. Did you turn it in a bad format or something? I mean,
I use Word, so I don't know.
Right. Okay. All right, Sophia, do me a favor. Would you send me an email on that?
Okay.
Just as a reminder. I wrote it down here as well. And,
Yeah, I just wanted to know, why I got a low score. I don't know if it's because of the format. I'm supposed to use the one you
No, I didn't grade on format.
Okay.
And, it's usually if it's late or if it's in pages and, I can't read it or whatever. No, something like that is, and generally I'll put a note in the discuss, in there. But glad you brought that up. I'll be happy to review that.
Because I see here it says I got a 0 out of 20. That's why I was confused.
What 0 out of 20 would have indicated that that it was not turned in on time.
Because I have this, you know how you submit something and you get an email confirming. So I want me to send you that through the email for you could see
Oh,
the date.
I'm gonna just check it right now.
Okay.
And I'll do screen sharing so you can see. This is the time to that we can resolve some of those things. And if we don't get it resolved, then we'll move on and I'll get it resolved for you later. So this was the first speaker, which was our improv speaker on 9/8. And it's Sophia.
And also, I have a question regarding the discussion. I didn't get a good score on it either. So how, like, what are you looking for the discussion? I got a good.
I'll show you that in a second.
Okay.
Let's see here. So,
Professor, I think I know what she has, and it's the same thing I did.
what is that, sweet?
I turned it in under guest professional speakers reflections instead of the individual ones.
And I've tried to, if you guys did that, because then don't forget that's not where things get turned in at. I did give you 15 points on that here.
Yes.
And Sophia, so you got 15 points under the guest speaker for the first speaker, because that's where you had posted it. And then I changed it. So you did get the points.
Well, because here it says out of 20 and it shows 0. So I don't know.
Yeah, but you got 15 points.
Okay.
Let me see. Well, can you just take your input that you posted in the wrong place and post it in the correct place so I can score it?
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
And for the discussion,
It has to be, if it's in the right place here, then I can score it, right? So
yes.
go ahead.
I have a question for the discussions.
Yeah.
I didn't get a good score for both of them, so I was wondering, like, what are you looking for the discussions?
I'm looking for a complete discussion. So in your
I
particular,
thought mine was complete. I don't know.
it's not because, can you see it on the screen?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you have 2 entries. And what is the assignment?
Well, for that one, you have to do introduction about, you know, something about business or something like that. I don't remember right now.
Yeah. And
that's what I did.
yeah, you do one thread from yourself, and then you respond to 2 students' threads. So I'm looking for 3 pieces here. That's why it's 30 points.
Okay, so I need to be 2.
And so you did 2 out of 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was just 1. Okay, 2.
No, the assignment itself, if you look here, assignments, here's the discussion rules, okay? Students will make at least 3 posts to at least 2 classmates. So these are the rules in the rubric for scoring here. So that's it.
Okay.
So you can still do it. Don't forget, you can turn stuff in after the time, and it will show up on Blackboard. So, okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So don't hesitate to turn stuff in ahead of time. Sometimes I might give you extra credit for doing that. Not always. And other times, if you got a 0 because you didn't turn it in on time, don't take a 0. Finish that, because it's all points for the whole semester. So just make sure you're stacking in as many points as you can. Make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else got a question on anything? What's going on? Okay. That's it. You all good? Sylvia, Anissa, you guys good? Josh?
Good.
Yeah, I figured it out now.
Got
I
it
did.
figured. You know?
I did what she did. I put it into the main one, but I already copy pasted it into the individual, the improv and the work.
Yeah, that's it. Just repost it into the correct one. And because what I was going to do is I was going to stack that originally, but then that got to be too cumbersome and so forth. So I just broke them all out to individuals. So so for tonight with our guest, you would do the same exact thing. You know, write up a reflection using some of the points I gave you, the template, blend that, and then just put that into Blackboard in the appropriate space for tonight's guest sandbox, and you're good to go. So as long as it gets in on time and you've put some thought to it, I do share those thoughts, some of them with my guests. I do record. We're being recorded right now. I do record, so my guest also has a recording of of their visit, and away we go. So, okay. Any other questions? I'll hang in a little bit after class if you want to chat then. So I had announced a contest for the upcoming, what they call the 6th annual South Bay Economic Forecast. If you go up on our website, and hopefully you guys see, can you see our website? You see our website? This is our main website, right? All right, so this is the voting. If you go here, you're going to see lots of new things that have been posted, and spread the word and being a poll worker. But we got 41 days till election coming up, and away we go. So that's it. And I think they just put out something else out there. But if you do a search for South Bay Economic Forecast, this is an event that we've been hosting now for quite a while, and it's a very popular event. Tickets are $40 plus, and so it's the 6th annual. Can everybody see that? So that's on Thursday, October 1st, 2 to 3:30 p.m., and then a virtual reception afterwards. Complimentary every table meal delivered to people that register, and here's our sponsors. Here are the speakers. And the topic is an interesting topic: adapting to change, surviving and thriving during disruption. And so Melanie, that's our topic. And the topic for our chapter this week in entrepreneurship is identifying entrepreneurial opportunity. So Melanie, when I introduce you, maybe you can kind of launch off of that a little bit, and when you tell your story, how you identified entrepreneurial opportunities and adapting to change, surviving and thriving during disruption, because I think you're the poster child for that, if I'm not mistaken. But what I wanted to announce is the winners for the contest. I did have a little contest going. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I did post it a couple of weeks ago. And so these two people will be invited to the meeting. You can use that as your outside event. You can have that as an opportunity to meet some new people and to kind of be recognized as being special. Plus, you get some extra credit. And so I looked at who's really kind of putting the effort in this semester and doing a good job. And I don't know if they're on. Joanna, are you on right now?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello there.
Hi.
And Sylvia Garcia, are you on?
Am.
Yeah. And so Joanna, I had you for both classes as being a tenant. So if you don't mind, I'm going to take the next person in line because you already were a winner from my first class. And is that all right?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Unless you want to have a split personality while you're there and kind of,
You could dress
represent
up
your
as two
classes,
different
but
people.
two different people. But so the next person is Nick Henry. Are you back from your tennis lessons and bon vivant stuff?
I'm just getting home right now, and
Okay.
I don't know if you're joking, but it's swimming lessons.
Oh, swimming. I thought it was tennis. Okay. I know I have another student that does tennis. Is that you, Elijah? Do you do tennis? Somebody does tennis in my groups and teaches, I think. So Nick, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Yeah, so this would be on October 1st, Thursday, 2 to 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon. Now, I don't know if that conflicts with what you've got going, but I'm going to ask you to make a decision whether you want to take that and do it, or pass it on to somebody else.
You said Thursday?
Thursday, October 1st, which is in next week, and it's at 2 to 3:30 p.m.
Unfortunately, that is a conflict.
Okay, I understand. You're a busy man, busy out there keeping life going. So the next person is Elijah Talman. Elijah, are you available and interested in attending on October 1st, 2 to 3:30 p.m. as a special guest for the 6th Annual South Bay Economic Forecast?
Sure, I'm free on Thursday.
Okay, and even if you're not free, and if you don't charge too much, we still could maybe talk you into coming, right? Okay, all right. So I've got Sylvia and Elijah as my guests at my table. I have a table for 10, and I will be sending you details. I think they're going to offer you a lunch to be delivered to your house. And so I think I'm going to need your addresses and if you want to have a lunch thing that's going to be sent through on every table meeting. It's safe for you, Melanie, because I'm going to need your address, but I'll send you an email on that because I got to turn those in so they can get you geared up to get some food. Okay, very good. Congratulations, Sylvia and Elijah. You are the winners at this point in the semester. So, all right, I'm going to move on. We have a very special guest who I've had the opportunity to work with now for the last probably 6-7 years. And she we're in a number of hats and has a tremendous amount of energy and insight into being successful. And I'm going to ask her to gear her thoughts around adapting to change, surviving and thriving during disruption, and identifying entrepreneurial opportunities, which is our chapter this week. So for week 5. And with that, I'm going to introduce our guest, who is Melanie Mack. You can come on up to the stage and introduce yourself, and let's all give her a hand and welcome her up. So, all right, Melanie, here we go.
I can only see a few of you.
Oh, go to gallery view. Can you go to gallery view?
You know what? I'm not going to attempt to do it because I don't have my glasses on, so I'll leave it.
You're still sharing your screen, Professor. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, I'll take that off. Hold on. I'm going to stop sharing. There you go. Maybe that makes a difference.
Yeah, that makes a difference. Okay.
There you go. Okay.
All right.
Normally, I would have you as co-host, but yeah, but you're not doing anything.
Yeah, I
So
will
go ahead,
probably
please.
leave the meeting on accident. So I don't want to, test that. Good evening, everyone. I'm Melanie Mack. I'm so happy to be here with you virtually this time. I was sharing with the last class that the last time I had an opportunity to speak with you, it was literally on the day that your campus was shutting down, and your Professor Michael informed me that that was actually the last class that evening that I was there in March. So it's just the world has changed so much, and I hope that everyone is just staying safe and that everyone's well. This is it's a very challenging time. At the same time, there are opportunities within disruption, and I hope to get to touch on some of those things. I'll share a little bit about my background, and I'll try. I'm a talker. Michael, you know this, so raise your hand sooner.
Yeah, so we want to leave time for question and answer. I don't want you to run out of time. So I'm going to unmute everybody unless I hear a bunch of background noise.
Okay.
And maybe you can take questions during the time, or just wait till,
So what I would like to do with everyone is, one, I'd like to know which businesses you're currently working on. If you've launched a business, if you have an existing business, please share it in the chat. And as we're going along, just please drop a question or a note to me in the chat, and I'll do my best to get to each of them. I hope that works for everyone. So a little bit about my background. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I started my career in entertainment. I worked in the entertainment industry, which is booming here. It always has. And I knew that I wanted to be in the business. And initially, I thought I wanted to work in front of the camera. And that, I quickly learned that I'm not a good actor, nor, I just thought that's just simply not my lane. And I found another opportunity, and that was working behind the scenes. And I've had much success working behind the camera, working in television development specifically. And on my career trajectory, I really, aside from knowing what I wanted to do, I didn't know how to, I just didn't know how to get there. No one in my family was in the business. I didn't have colleagues that, I didn't know anyone. Again, I didn't have family members. And so I used an organization called the Urban League, and I had a wonderful counselor who worked with me and found a career path, which was the PA training program. The PA training program was a production assistant. And it was a production assistant training program. And I don't know if any of you have worked in the entertainment business, but you really don't need training to work as a PA. You really don't. You're running errands. You need a car. You need a driver's license. You need insurance, because you're running errands and you're delivering scripts and you're on call 24/7. But I was so happy to be afforded an opportunity to work with Warner Brothers and their PA training program. And that started me out on my path. I was able to work most of the Warner Brother productions, and quickly learned that running from show to show and having my livelihood depend on the success of a show was not something that I was interested in. I wanted some financial stability. I wanted to do what I love, but I also wanted stability in that. And so I began looking at other paths. And one of the good things about working in production and working as a script supervisor, as an editor, producer's assistant, etc., you get to see the different pathways. And so for me, I started looking at the people that they call the suits. And I thought, like, who are the people that come to set, to the table reads, and come to the tapings, and people scurry when the suits are around. And I thought, what is it that they do? And I found an opportunity to work on that side with the studios, and got an opportunity with an incredible executive who gave me a shot. And for me, it was still television development, but instead of my livelihood being dependent upon the success of a show, I now had an opportunity to oversee a slate of shows. So if one particular show went down, I still had a job, and that was great for me because, of course I was working hard and rooting for all of my shows, but at the same time, it wasn't as stressful if a show did not succeed. Even if a show did well, it just meant that there would be more that I could add to that particular pipeline. And so that worked well for me. I was able to learn the business of television. I learned how to build an audience, to see an idea and see it through from the seed of an idea, through advertisers on up to, okay, it's on air. So it's taking something and seeing it through, and just learning the process of that. You can apply that to almost any career, really. It's something that it helps you to become a problem solver. So being able to work with people in different departments and knowing what your skill sets are and then sharpening those things. And for me, I know a good story. I know, I recognize talent very easily, which is why I knew that I was not talented and did not need to be in front of anyone's camera. But again, it helped me to sharpen that skill set of seeing something through to fruition. And in doing that for many years, I was able to, I was part of the original launch team for FX Networks, worked on many shows with MTV, with Paramount, 20th Century Fox, you name it. I've worked with incredible producers and creators, the creators of Friends, Bright Kaufman Crane at the time, and all kinds of talent, from those that need the blue M&Ms to those that are just very congenial and very easy to get along with. So that, again, served me in my career. But I also thought, as my personal life began to evolve and I got married, I had my first child. Today I'm the mother of 3 sons. I have a blended family with my second and last husband. But I have 2 boys from my first marriage, and he has a son from his first marriage. And just being able to transition and see that it's very difficult for anyone, I would say particularly women, having to work 80 hours, and which is standard, it's kind of standard business in entertainment. I was working 80 hours a week, and it left very little time for me to parent, let alone be there for and be of support to my husband, who worked similar hours. So it was very challenging. And for me, I thought the impetus for me changing that path that I was on was a call from my son's nanny at the time. And she called to simply let me know that my son was beginning to take his first steps, which that sent me into a complete meltdown in my office. And I thought, I have to do something differently, because I'm missing out on these moments that I will never be able to get back. That led to, again, it was the impetus for me creating my own business and charting my own course as an entrepreneur. I quickly pivoted and I wrote a business plan, having never written a business plan, wrote a business plan for an urban business model that I wanted to create online. And I was able to get funding after meeting with 30 venture capitalists, 30 VCs. I was able to get funding for $1.5 million to launch my first venture. And that set me on a course that forever changed the trajectory of my life. I love being an entrepreneur. It's definitely one of the most rewarding things that I've ever been able to do. And I've created many businesses. I look to see what's coming, what's new, what's now, what's next. And I like to, as much as I can, stay ahead of the curve, if I can, if and when that's possible. Even in looking at this terrible situation that we're in the world, there's a lot of disruption happening. And in some of the conversations that I'm blessed to take part in, within the disruption, there's opportunity, and it's an opportunity now to create things for yourself. And I'm sure many of you know, as either seasoned entrepreneurs or you're, this is your first foray into this lane, this is an opportunity while the world is in many ways on pause. It gives someone time to kind of think about, how can you service different industries? What can they do better? Take, for example, Netflix. Netflix has these beautiful offices, right, on Sunset, beautiful building that was erected just for them. Well, they've been working from home. Their employees have been working remotely since the pandemic hit, and with all of the civil unrest, and they've decided they're looking at their employees, their staff, and people are much more productive. And they find that for them, this is working better. So they've decided that they are not going to return to their Sunset location and continue to work remotely. I hope that no one in this class is with Netflix, because I'm letting the cat out of the bag a bit. but they're going to continue to work remotely, and that works for them. It also helps people that are in the space of needing people that need workspace, because there's not a lot of inventory when it comes to needing a space to, whether you're doing a podcast or you're you have the kind of business that requires a brick and mortar space. There's not a lot of inventory for that. So being that that's just one example where they are not going to return, that opens up a lot of space for filming, for people that want to do shared office space. In other industries, it has completely decimated them, such as the WeWork model. Are many of you familiar with WeWork, the shared office space? I should put my glasses on so I'm asking you guys to type in the chat. So WeWork, for example, it's completely decimating that business model, because most people are working from home now. If they are not an essential worker in certain industries, they have the opportunity to work from home, and it's not necessary in many cases to pay the exorbitant amount of money that's required to rent with WeWork. And I know because I've rented space with WeWork, and it's incredibly it's expensive. And I've always had my home office, but it's nice to have a place where, people can come and meet with you, and you can convene and you have your board meetings. But being that we're not able to gather in this particular time, it's great to have, to look at your own space and to see how you can utilize that for yourself. And in some cases, you may be able to monetize the space that you have. I mean, this has been great for Airbnb, or people that have spaces that they can rent to someone. So it's a great way to monetize. So again, this is a good time to really take a moment and just do a self-assessment and see what are the things that you're good at, what are the things that you want to do. This is the time, because there's really never a perfect time to launch out into the deep. But if there were ever a time, I would say this is definitely the time to try things, to experiment, because you have a little bit of wiggle room to, you can fail, and you can fail quickly, and you don't have to fail on a large stage, and pick yourself up and keep going. I'm looking at some of the, yes, I agree. WeWork is definitely popular, and it's still good. Absolutely, I agree. April, I agree with you. It's definitely good if you still need to see clients. One of the things that I use as a kind of guidepost for me, and this is in terms of income, I always look at how am I valuing my time? How can I make money? Is this something that am I spending too much time on this, or am I not spending enough time? And I look at just a basic model, and usually I write this down, but I'm happy to put it in the chat. But I take, let's say you want to make $200,000 annually. And I'm a fundraiser, so I'm always thinking about monetizing, and I want to monetize everything. I'm constantly looking at ways and different businesses and thinking, is there a place for me, or is there a place for someone I know that I can recommend for different situations? And then I look to create additional income and revenue streams for myself. But I take $200,000 as just my marker, right? And then I divide that by 50 weeks in a year. And I say 50 because hopefully you're taking some vacation time. And so let's say you take 2 weeks of vacation. So you take the 200,000, divide it by 50, which leaves you with $4,000, right? $4,000 that you need to make weekly in order to meet that goal. So if you're thinking about $4,000 weekly, how many days a week are you going to work? I recommend when you're working for yourself to take 5 days of focused time. And you do that equation, you divide that. And I'm sorry, I don't usually have my notes with me, and I'm going to just turn because I'm not, as much as I am a fundraiser, I'm not a mathematician, but I want to get this right here. So you take the 4,000, right, and you divide it by 5 days a week, and that's your focused time. And for 5 days, you don't have to work 7 days a week, but for 5 focused days, uninterrupted, you're going to give it everything you have. Whatever it is that you're working on, you're going to contribute all of your time and energy to that. And then you decide, so that's $800 a day that you're making, right? $800 a day, working 5 days a week, because you've got to hit that $4,000 a week mark. And you divide that by 5 hours a day, not an 8-hour day, but a 5-hour focused day, so that you have time to get other things done. And you'd be surprised, people waste a lot of time, I've noticed, within their business day, just doing other things. But if you can set aside time, whether you have to put it in your notes in your phone, your calendar, however you choose to do it, set aside dedicated time for yourself. And I recommend 5 hours each day where you're uninterrupted and you're going to focus on your business. And just with that equates to $160 an hour. So that's the equation that I use. I look at my time and I think, within the hour, is this worth $160 an hour? I think about, if I'm on a phone call, is this taking away from my goal of meeting that $160 in my day, because I need to make $160, right? Each hour. And so I look at that, and it helps me to, just using those numbers, it helps me to really order my day and order my steps. And it's very easy to say, you know what, this is not that important. Let me put my focus here, or this I need to prioritize, this I can do later in the week. And it just helps you to kind of structure your life and just to work harder on your business. Because, I had to tell myself no one was coming to save me. And that's just my mentality. No one's coming to save me. I have to make things happen on my own. And again, this is just it's a great opportunity to begin creating a business or building something for yourself. I say to my kids, listen, I cannot leave a great job to you. And there are many wonderful jobs. I have friends that are entrepreneurs that have built businesses, as I have myself. And I have people that have amazing careers in different professions. And so you really have to decide what's best for you. I mean, you may be someone that it's better for you to work in an environment with a team and be in a very structured environment and a 9-to-5. I'm not knocking that at all, because everyone has a role to play. And then you may decide, no, that's not for me. I don't want someone standing over my shoulder. I'd like to chart my own course. And you set out to become an entrepreneur, and that's okay. Just know that it's not easier it's not any easier than working for someone else. I would say that I find it to be much more rewarding because it's something that you're building for yourself and not anyone else. I'm looking for Maurice. Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah.
Hi. What's your question?
Oh, no. I didn't have a question. I thought you said to post in the chat what businesses we're trying to work on or we have released already.
Okay. So you're currently working on building a multimedia company.
All right.
Tell me a little bit about that.
All right, so the general idea is basically right now with my limited but growing capital, I'm trying to acquire different pieces of equipment, whether that's cameras, different props, stuff like that. And the end goal is to acquire a studio, which I'll have all that equipment and different services provided, whether that's filming or shooting a video, music, studio, just vocal, or using the music studio for anything like voice narration and stuff like that. Just building a studio that allows creators to create content. Makes it easier for them, basically.
That's outstanding. Have you looked into, a company called Law Create Space?
You said it's Law Create Space?
It's Law, it looks like LA Create Space.
Okay.
It's Law Create Space.
I have not seen, I haven't heard about that before.
Yeah, check them out. You can find them on Instagram. You can also go to their website, which is lacreatespace.com. And you may find that there's some sort of symbiotic relationship there. Contact the owners, and they have their businesses. They have a brick and mortar, and they're located, I believe it's in the city of Inglewood. Maybe it may be Los Angeles, but they have a really wonderful space. And I know just with the state of the world, they're looking for different partnerships, and they may have equipment or different things that you could use as you're building your business.
Okay. That's cool. I will definitely check that out.
Absolutely. Okay, April, you're working on, it says you're working to establish an online registry. Tell me a little bit about that, April.
It's an online registry. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, it's an online registry for renters. It's kind of like a community where people who are looking for a place can share information about available spaces or rent, or just have a conversation about their process and what they're going through with filling out applications and credit check fees and just communities and amenities that they're looking for, or accommodations or friendly pet policies and things of that sort.
I love that. That seems to be even more niche than, let's say, an Airbnb. Particularly in this time, it seems like you would really be able to capitalize on this moment, because people are being very selective about where they stay, where they choose to, whether it's a hotel or bed and breakfast, Airbnbs, and having a safe space to discuss available rentals that's a great business idea.
Thank you.
Good luck with that. This is a great time for it, I would say. This is my humble opinion.
Wonderful.
I would love to see you, April. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for sharing your business. Let's see. Sophia, I think you had the really cool background earlier. Tell me about your business.
For me, I want to start my own animal online clothing store.
Wow.
Because I love animals, and I want to donate some profit to nonprofit animal shelters.
That is outstanding. Now that it breaks my heart just a little bit because I had to rehome my dogs in June at the end of the month, but I was able to find a great family. My husband is just not a dog lover, so yeah, so I had to find another family for them, but I miss them so much. That's a great business because people are fanatical over their dogs.
I'm gonna do dogs and cats, so.
Oh, okay.
Do both and hopefully expand. But I want to customize animal clothing, so whatever the customer wants, I'll be able to make it for them.
It would be great to consider partnering with different nonprofit organizations that are also looking for unique ways to fundraise, because people like me that are in the nonprofit space as well, we get so tired of what we call the rubber chicken dinner events, because you have to go to so many of them throughout the year. But nonprofits are always looking for innovative ways to bring attention to their cause and also raise money. And there could be a relationship where it helps you to build your business and to gain visibility for the customized clothing, and high net worth individuals definitely pay for services such as that. So good luck with that.
Thank you. I have a plan on how to.
Oh, I can't hear you.
I have a plan on how to, like how you said to reach out to nonprofit organizations.
I can't hear you.
Oh, really? It's unmuted. Can you hear me or no?
I can't hear you.
Your volume went way down, Sophia.
Oh, how do you bring it up? Can you hear me now or no?
Yeah, you might want to get closer to the
You can
mic.
also put it in the chat, and I can pull it from the chat.
Okay. Can you hear me still or no? No.
Oh, I'm sorry that I can't hear you.
Okay.
Just put it in the chat. Is there anyone else that has any burning questions that you'd like to ask? I would be happy to assist if I can. Again, my background consists of a number of things. My parents have always taught me that I have a key ring. This is how they described it, that I have a key ring, and the more keys that you can place on that ring, the more doors you're able to open for yourself. And so with that, I've been able to work in the nonprofit space, work in corporate America and navigate that space at the highest levels, work on different boards and board service and board development. That's also a great way to meet people that can help you along the way. You can find mentors that way. You can find other colleagues. Sometimes you can find business partners by serving on boards or volunteering with different organizations. So that's something that I would definitely recommend. And then with my own company, with Black Cooperative Investment Fund, again, we provide microloans ranging from 5 to 20,000 to small business owners that are looking to launch a business or to grow. They need growth capital for their existing business, or perhaps they're looking to purchase real estate. And so I'm actually going to type it in the chat here. It's BCI Fund, BCIFund.org. And we're actually actively taking applications. We're definitely going to fund 8 to 10 businesses before the close of this year. So Maurice, I know you said that you're possibly looking for capital and equipment. I would encourage you to apply.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely. Where are you, by the way, your background?
Oh, that's just a picture. I was over by, I forgot where I was at, but I was with a couple of friends. It was like by the beach.
Looks beautiful.
Yeah, it was a very good day.
Yeah, good. Okay, Michael, I love the butterflies.
Well, I think this is kind of your personality in back of me here. So, just all very colorful. And You know,
I love butterflies.
very inspiring. Yeah.
This is, again, I want to, I know we're running out of time, but I want to encourage everyone to, take imperfect action. You don't have to have everything in perfect order or lined up before you decide to launch, and just be fearless, or feel the fear and do it anyway, as some would say. Don't be afraid to fail. That's the only path to creating any sort of success in your life. Is you have to get over. I know people right today that are still hung up on what people think of them, or what someone will say if they share their idea, or if they're bold enough to actually launch into the deep and go forward with their dream or pursue their passion. And let's say it's rough the first year, the first 2 years, first 3 years. So many people are afraid of what other people think. And it stops so many people from realizing their greatness and just showing up in the full celebration of who they are. And you cannot show up in pieces, right? You have to bring everything, whether it's a struggle or a success. Maybe you haven't had any hardship in your life, but show up in the full celebration of yourself, because someone is waiting for you to do that thing that you're supposed to be doing, in order to give them the encouragement, or just to feel like they have permission to do the business or pursue the passion that is theirs and theirs alone. Sure, I'd be happy to, April. I'll put my email in here.
Do you mind if people reach out to you, Melanie? If they
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
You don't have to.
So I'm happy to, if anyone wants to, if you'd like me to review something, if you'd like to perhaps have a one-on-one call with me related to your business or life. I coach people at all levels. I coach other executives like myself. I coach other business owners. I coach a lot of college students that are just trying to find their path. One of my girlfriends says, and I love this because it has helped my kids tremendously, but she says many people, when they're in school, there's a lot of angst about what they're going to do, or what they choose to do, right, with your path. And one of the things that she says is, think about it this way, just shift your mindset and think, what is it that I want to do first? And when you think, my kids, when they think of it that way, it's when I think of things that way, because I'm still thinking about things that I want to explore and do. And, as I haven't shared this with you yet, Michael, but I am working on a project that I can't disclose yet, but I'm so excited about it. And just the fact that I can, I'm turning 50 this year, and I'm just excited that there are still things that move me, and still things that give me a little bit of trepidation moving forward, but I could care less. I will quickly tell you, I could care less what people think of things that I try or explore, what they think of my success or failure. I don't let those things slow me down or hinder me. Yes.
So Melanie, congratulations. You can, it's a glass half full, half empty, or just say, hey, I don't care as long as I got some in my glass. Half century, or you got half of your life left in front of you, right?
Yes.
So you can look at it one way or the other. Congratulations. I hope you have a good one with that. How would you measure success?
I measure success by things that I have certain goals that I set for myself, and mine are always related to family. What am I building, and what can I leave for my family when I'm no longer here? I want something that, I want to have books, which is why I'm a published author. I want things that people can read and learn about when I'm no longer here. I want my kids to be able to learn about the businesses that I have and that I've created, and to be able to step into those things if they choose to. I mean, they may choose to go their own path, and where they sit now, it looks like they will create their own path. And I love the fact that they're not looking to work for anyone. My youngest son, who's 19, has his own business.
Oh.
You know, and what he's using this time to ramp up merch, and he's developing all kinds of merchandise, and on his own dime, by the way. He hasn't asked for funding. He has just asked that I be supportive of what he wants to do, and I love to see him doing this. I'm just blown away by it. And then, you know, my firstborn has a business mind, and he's assisting, like they're doing presentations and getting sponsors, and I'd like to think that, you know, I'd like to take a little bit of credit. I'd like to think that they got some of that from me, but I love that that they're being fearless about it and unapologetic, even when it comes to me. Even if I have, you know, my eyebrow raised a little bit, like, okay, you know, I may not get some of the things that they're working on, but I love it, because then when I see like the money that he makes and he's so proud of his products, I'm a proud mom. So that is how I view success: is what am I leaving? Like, what am I leaving for my family?
That's good. Hey, Josh, thank you for sharing that. Josh, you had some business ideas, and you have some things that you're doing. What's going on in your life that you share with Melanie?
Well, right now I'm still trying to get my classes back, but as far as that, I stopped making beef jerky because I used to get it from my friend's restaurant, and obviously because of COVID, they're not able to, they haven't been open for 3 months, I think. So I had to put a halt on that. But yeah, just my main focus right now is just getting my classes back, and then, you know, just be staying involved. So.
Okay.
And then, yeah, as far as the business ideas, I definitely will email you some questions that I have, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely. Please do.
So Melanie, you want me to put your email in there, or you want to put it in the chat? Yeah.
Yes, please do. And don't be afraid to ask what, you know, whatever it is you need. I may not be able to answer it, but if I can, and I can save you some steps, I would love to do that. No one is reinventing the wheel. Just remember that. Not me, not anyone. No one is reinventing the wheel. And so if there are some roadblocks that you can avoid, I would say take the help, take the advice.
Let me grab your email. So when will we know about this tantalizing, exciting, new stealth project that you're working on that you cannot tell us, but you're teasing us?
Soon. It will be online first, but then it's, I will say this, it's going to be its own channel.
Oh.
Own television channel.
Well, I thought the own channel was already taken.
I know. So you have to create something else, because it doesn't stop with Oprah, right?
Okay. All right. What's going to happen with content and stuff with the movie business now that, you know, all this stuff shouldn't?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
the theaters are opening up, but they don't have any new content.
Right. And because, I mean, the studios haven't fully opened.
Yeah.
And they're still trying to figure out how, I mean, there's a lot of filming that's happening right now in New Zealand, but they're still trying to figure out where to place actors and, you know, on their marks. And I just don't know how they're going to do that. I don't know how they're going to do social distancing when you have 200 and 300 person crews. That's challenging. But in terms of films, I love that the drive-in is coming back. Yeah. For me, I like that. $35 per car. You can get as many people in the car as possible. But I wish that they would show new content. That's the thing. And I'm hoping that people will, content creators, I'm hoping that they'll take this time and just you can create content on an iPhone. So I'm hoping that people will.
It doesn't have to be live either. I have my son-in-law is an animator. Used to be with DreamWorks. He's now with Marvel, and he's very well known. He's been credited, and he's
You're just doing that like slight mic drop there.
And they are doing they are busy as the dickens with producing content, but it's digital, right? And a little bit of acting, but and then animation along with it, and high quality animation. So you'll see a lot of content in that regard coming out as we go along.
Have you noticed that content creators that were already that already had some sort of a digital platform, they are thriving during as some of the larger networks that are not accustomed to that, and
they have to make that pivot, right?
Because I had to tell someone recently, I said, if you're still talking about what you're thinking about doing because of COVID, it's too late. you needed to make that decision months ago. So it's like you need to pivot quickly. But yeah, there are some people that are kind of still scratching their heads and thinking,
they're going to get left behind.
Like what am I going to do with my business? And it's too late for that conversation.
Well, that's a key.
I'm trying to put my email in the chat.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, here we go. I'll send it here.
Yeah, last week we talked about the future of work, and with the all the artificial intelligence and robotics and things like that, which are physical things, but it really is serious, because we got all these folks here and my classes and other classes that are graduating into what is our world going to look like over the next while? And you just mentioned it. I mean, like with you said Netflix, and I think Google. Didn't Google make that announcement?
Yes.
Most of their employees are going to
Twitter
be
is doing the same thing.
Yeah, they're going to be virtual, and away we go. So
TNT, they're not going back. They're definitely not going back at the end of the year. And it's interesting to see how this is impacting sports.
Yeah.
Which is really the last, well, you can't even say concerts, but in terms of live television, sports is really the last frontier with that, because I know for me, I love customizing and programming when I'm going to watch a particular program. You don't have to rush home and sit in front of the television at a certain time today. You can decide when you want to watch something.
Or do time shift, right? Yeah.
Right. So it's interesting with
on demand and streaming. Well, listen, I'll tell you what, you've been generous here with your thoughts and time. Any last minute questions real quick as we wrap up?
April has a question. April, go to Fiverr.com. It's, I'll put it in the chat.
And that's with 2 R's.
Yes.
And you'll get somebody from Albania that will do work for you.
But there are so many people that are freelancing, this time. There are some amazing work that's coming out of Fiverr.
Yeah, well, that brings in a global community. I've had Fiverr do some of my work, and
yes.
I mean, you guys are coming in from Pakistan and places you never even heard of, and bidding on this, and they're alive and being creative and doing some interesting things. All right, anything else going on? You guys have been quiet. Anaisa, any questions on your side for Melanie?
No, not today. I've just been quietly listening and taking notes.
Taking notes. Good for you, kid. All right, Taylor, are you good?
Well, I hope that all of you will take some time and check out Black Cooperative Investment Fund.
Yeah.
We do a lot of salons for, it's a means for fundraising for us. And we've had Issa Rae on as a guest. Well, this is when we were doing in-person salons. Now we're doing virtual salons. And our next guest is going to be Mark Stevens, who is a minority owner of the Golden State Warriors.
Wow.
So that's exciting. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, we've had some wonderful people on.
Speaking of salons, they just announced they're going to reopen the nail salons.
Thank goodness. Sophia, I noticed when you were talking before class started that your nails look gorgeous, by the way. And I have not had a manicure and pedicure since March.
Yeah. So, well, you know, you got to think about all these small businesses and the challenges, you know,
Oh,
for
yes.
them to survive, open, close, plastic, all that kind of stuff. It is absolutely bananas, the pressure that's gone on with small business. So, all right. Well, listen, any other questions from anybody? Because otherwise I'm going to shut down the session. We answered some that are on regarding our class. We will get together again on Thursday, pick up on voting. And today is also, and this is a bonus question, today is Equinox Day. So does anybody know what equinox means? One of my startups was called, one of my startups was called Equinox, actually.
Is it the start of fall?
Well, that doesn't necessarily tell me what equinox means.
It has to do with the sun, I believe, and like the moon colliding, something like that. Well, not colliding.
Colliding?
Not colliding, not colliding.
Let's hope not. That wouldn't be fun for us if that happened. Equinox is equal night and equal day. So this is the day, the 22nd of September, which is the fall autumnal equinox, which is basically the introduction of fall, when it's basically equal night, equal day. It's not exactly because of, you know, changes in different things, but it is a time called equinox. And I had a company called Equinox, so that's why I knew that. So, all right, listen, guys, we're going to check off. Melanie, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Are you okay to start at 7 again, or have I worn you out?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm fine.
You tell me this 80-hour week. I don't know.
Not anymore. Listen.
Not anymore. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
No, right.
All right. Well, we'll be back online at 7. I'm going to shut it down. I'll see you guys on Thursday, 5:30. Say goodbye to Melanie. Tell her thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.